Good morning. Thanks for joining me. I'm Melanie from Yoga Within. I'd love to tell you this is getting easier to do live, but it's not. I take a moment and just thank all of you for all the messages you've been sending, words of encouragement. All of us really appreciate it. So let's take a moment and find your most comfortable position. You can sit up or lie down. Remember, if you are lying down and your back's bothering you, let your knees bend. And if you're sitting up, you may want to sit up on a block or a blanket just to lift the hips a bit and tilt the pelvis forward. If it's comfortable, just cross your thumbs, spread your fingers, and rest on your chest. If not, just place your hands wherever it feels the most comfortable. Eyes open or eyes closed. Just see what feels best. Take a long, deep breath in and a long, releasing exhalation. Try that one more time. A long, deep breath in. A long, releasing exhalation. Just allowing the body to settle. Letting all the activities of the morning begin to drift away. Trying to connect with your breath. Don't force your breath. Don't judge your breath. Just follow the natural rhythm of your breath as it is right now in this moment. I am breathing in. I am breathing out. Breath by breath, I allow my body to soften. Breath by breath, I try to release the tension. As you lie within that place of mindful breath, begin to notice your thoughts. Try not to judge them. Try to just allow them. Watch them come and go like clouds in the sky. Trying your best not to hold on to any one thought. This can be challenging for many of us, but with time and with practice, breath by breath, our thoughts begin to drift. The moments between our thoughts become a little more spacious. Our mind begins to slow down. Our bodies soften. And we try to welcome these moments of stillness and breath. Slowly, awareness begins to return. You can gently release the hands from the chest. Start to wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. Bring some movement into the ankles, making the circles just as large as you can without getting into any type of pain. But really try to get your joints moving. And then go the other direction. Start to shake the wrists, shake the ankles. Let the movement slow to a stop and just let your head turn gently from side to side. Just notice how your neck feels this morning. Head move gently up and down as though you're nodding. And then interlace your fingers, press the palms out, lift the arms up, take a really big, deep breath in, and a big, long, loud letting go exhalation as you release. Once more, interlace the fingers the opposite way, palms press out, arms lift, breathe in, stretch, and breathe out and release. If you are in a seated position and you can come onto your back, bring yourself onto your back. Take a moment to readjust your neck, put perhaps a block or a blanket underneath your head. And take a moment just to bring your knees into your chest, holding your shins or holding the backs of the thighs, and just rocking a little bit from side to side over the spine. And then take a moment rolling over onto the right side, but just hovering there at the side of the head, the side of the shoulder, the side of the hip. Find your breathing. Then bring yourself back to the center and roll to the other side, just hovering gently, working into all those pressure points on the side of the body. Come back to the center and just repeat that once more on each side. You may find that a blanket or something between the knees and the ankles can help. Going back to the other side for the last time. And back to the center. Rock a bit. Do some circles going one way. Just going over the hips, the shoulders, the low back. And then reverse it, go the other way with those circles. Knees and feet together or knees and feet apart. Changes the massage you get into your body. And really listen to the cues your body gives you. Stop at the center. And once more, make yourself as tiny as you can. You might want to lift the head, but try to drop the shoulders. Some of you can hold the feet. Just really be content with where you are today, knowing that it's probably different than yesterday. Lower the torso down and extend the legs up. If your back or hamstrings are tight, just move the legs a little farther apart and bend the knees. Now bring the right thigh into the chest. Hold the shins to the back of the thigh and extend through that left heel. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, start to lower that leg down towards the ground. And inhale brings the leg back up, and repeat that 6 more times. If your back's hurting, just put that right foot on the floor and lower the left leg in this position. And you know, if the number of repetitions I tell you to do is too many or not enough, pick a number that works for you. As best you can, try to connect your movement with your breathing. Because although we're warming up through the hips and into the core of the body, more than anything, it is a breathing exercise. When you slow the movement down, you deepen the breath, you deepen the lung capacity, and going slower for most of us is a bit harder. When you finish, if you can, finish with the leg in the air. Extend the right leg up, bring the left leg in, interlace your fingers the opposite way that you did, and do the same number of repetitions to this side as you did to the other side. Remember the option of putting that left foot on the floor if that's better for your back. Keep the chin tipped lightly down. And if you are doing the option with the foot on the floor, put the arms in the position where you feel the deepest opening across the front body and into the shoulders. Work with the breath. Try as best you can to do the same number of repetitions to each side, but I'm pretty sure nothing will happen if you don't get it exactly right. When you finish, finish with the leg in the air. Extend that left leg out. Pause for a couple of breaths, really breathing into the low belly. And then you can move the legs apart, bend the knees, grab the backs of the thighs, and just rock a little bit from side to side here. Your option is always just thighs to chest, heels to the backs of the thighs. Maybe you can hold the ankles, rock a little bit more. Keep your foot soles facing the ceiling, just like you were balancing a cup of tea on the soles of the feet. Some of you may be able to change, hold the outsides of the feet and rock, perhaps even straightening one leg. And then some of you may be able to bring the arms through the legs, wrap your arms around and grab the outsides of the feet. Keep your chin tipped under. You can add the rocking if you like. You can stay down. You can lift up, but try to keep the low back on the ground so you're not turning it into a reverse curl. Then bring the head down, release the legs, extend the legs straight up. Place the palms flat on the floor, just under in the low back area, and keep the shoulders down. If your back hurts, bend one knee, put the foot on the floor, do single leg lifts and lowering. Otherwise, take a breath in, breathe out as you begin to lower the legs, breathe in as you lift. If you're doing singles, try to do 5 on each side. If you're doing the double leg lifts, do anywhere from the number you've just done up to about 8. Try to keep the shoulders rolling down. Try not to thrust through the ribs. Don't worry if your heels come to the floor. In fact, if my heels come to the floor today, I get an overarch in my back and it turns into this unsafe back bend. When you finish with the legs up in the air. Bend the knees, bring both knees into the chest. Open the arms to a T position. If your palms are down, draw your palms towards your elbows towards your shoulders towards your spine. And as you exhale, drop both knees to the right. Look to the center, look to the right. Your right hand can come up, drawing that knee down. Release it back to the center and move to the other side. And go through the act of really self-exploration. What is it you need today? That arm can stay here at shoulder height. It can go palm up higher. It can go lower. If your shoulder hurts, put the hand because the holding isn't what you need. You can always do more repetitions. Go back to the center. Go to the other side. The practice is yours. I'm just here as a guide. And really, what I say may not be what you need. And the idea is to listen to you. Bring yourself back to the center. Pause for a moment, releasing that twist. Might be just thighs to chest, might be nose to knees. Could be happy baby, or even feet to the floor, just letting the knees rock. As we transition back to a seated position, you can roll to one side, press yourself, rocks until you find your way back. Just adjust the glutes. Remember, you can use these green foamy blocks or just roll up a blanket, sit up on it, and then remember, don't stay perched right on top. Roll forward. It'll pop up a bit, but you can see the hips lift and the pelvis tilt. Take a moment, just do some of those gentle circles, but make them as large as you can and try to get some shoulder movement going. You can keep the glutes rooted, or you can rock from side to side. Explore. Try to connect with your breath. Get to the center and then reverse it. Try to reverse the direction that you're rolling the shoulders. And don't watch me because I never remember why I went last. When it feels like you've done about the same, walk it out into a forward fold. If that means stretching your legs out, then stretch them out. You can stay here on the elbows. It can be back with the hands on the knees. Or for some of you, all the way forward. Just don't drop your head if you're feeling like you have a little bit of neck strain or a headache. or if there's any high or low blood pressure. Then bring yourself all the way up, roll your shoulders out, bring the knees up, stretch the legs out. Start with the knees bent, heels on the ground, tip your torso towards your thighs. And this might be your forward fold today. Or some of you may be already at that place where you begin to straighten the legs, but draw those shoulders back and use your feet. Remember the importance of our feet. They support us all our lives. So use them. Then walk yourself up, roll your shoulders out, and keep your left leg straight. Bend your right knee and draw that leg over. So if keeping the left leg straight isn't comfortable, just bend the knee and bring the leg in. I'm going to keep my leg in today. So hold the leg with the right hand and take your left hand and just start wiggling and twisting each toe. Be mindful that you're not leaning back, so really explore that left leg. Where do you need it? Really grab the toes, twist them, pull them off. Do each toe. Try not to hold your breath. Try to keep your spine tall. Remember, you are also working hips and into the core of the body. And if you're not, well, remember, you should be. Notice the difference from toe to toe. Take your hands. It's good. Now see if you could take your fingers and interlace them between your toes. And if that doesn't happen for you, I truly would suggest you do a lot more of these foot exercises. Go back and forth, and then pull the fingers out. Take the foot and twist it like you were wringing out a face cloth. Sit tall. I know you're sinking back there. Take your hand, tap the foot, and then take that leg, stretch it out. Just notice, perhaps you notice some tingling or the color of the foot. Squeeze and release. And then stretch both legs out, bounce, and notice the difference from foot to foot. I can tell you that mine are different colors right now. Keep the right leg straight, bend the left, draw it in and up. Bring it over, hold it in the left hand. Again, if you need to bend that right knee, bend it. It's good. And then start to go to each toe. So twist it and pull it. You might hear some crunches, crackles. That's okay. Go to each toe. Try not to sink down. Maintain that length in the spine. The shoulders moving away. Really work each toe. And you might notice a difference from foot to foot. I definitely do. I notice a difference from hip to hip. Grab the toes, move them forward and back. Keep breathing. Notice your breath. Then try to interlace your fingers between your toes. Might be different from one foot to the other. In fact, I'm sure it is for most of us. Move them back and forth. Sit up tall. Drop your shoulders. Open your chest. Then work the balls of the feet, the front knuckles of the feet. Take the foot, twist it in both directions. Notice the mobility of your foot. Take the hand, tap the foot. Take that foot, set it down, stretch it out, curl the toes, spread the toes, sit up tall. And then stretch both legs out. Notice curl, spread, curl, spread. See if you can come into this Baddha Konasana or butterfly position, rock it out. So I know you're going to love this. See if you can actually take your toes and interlace them. And if you can't, I think you will be able to with some practice. Don't tell me your toes are too short or too long. Notice which big toe is on top. Pull them apart and then interlace them the opposite way. Check it out. Sit up tall. You might need some props or a bolster under your knees. And then uncurl them, wiggle them out, and take the body forward, whatever that is for you. It could be here, it could be here. Some of you will be able to pick the hands up or palms down. Notice what feels best within your shoulders. Take one more breath in and one more breath out. And then bring yourself all the way up. Bring the knees sections. Point and flex, jiggle like jello, but not sloth like. I can see you. Well, I can't, but I'm pretending I can. It's good. And then forward fold. Remember, I'm bending from the bottom of my rib cage here. So try to bend the knees, lift the hips, tilt the pelvis, and come into your forward fold here. Work with your breathing. Bring yourself all the way up. If you are sitting on a block or a blanket, you might want to slide it out of the way for a moment. Let your knees bend. Wiggle out through the glutes a bit. Lift your toes off the floor and let your knees drop to the right. Bring them back across the center and drop them to the left. So if I was just to let my knees drop and drop, that's about the movement that I'd have. But by moving my heels in and letting my knees drop, I get more movement through my hips. So just pay attention to your movement. It's all about creating mobility in our bodies. Remember, yoga means union, the body, the mind, and the breath. Working on all three aspects. The next time your knees are over to the right, stay there. If this is a position that is just not possible because of your hips or your knees, sit in a cross-legged position with that left leg on top or in front. That's good. Make the adjustments that you need. If you find your body's in this position with that left glute lifting, take your prop and put it under the right side to elevate the right side, and that'll help even out the weight slightly. It's good. Sit up as tall as you can. Just bring that right arm forward. Grab mid upper arm and extend. Over to the left, drop the shoulder. Good. Bring it back to the center. Lift the arm without lifting that left glute. Pat yourself lightly on the back without dropping the chin down if possible. Good. Bring that arm back up. Lower it down. Good. Bring it back. Drop it back. Try not to drop your chin. See if you can bring that right arm back up and hold the left elbow. Keep your breath. Stretch both arms up and then switch. Good. Breathing. Switch both arms up. Lower this left hand down. If your shoulder hurts, your right shoulder, just put your hand on the hip and bend over towards the feet, going to the left. Keep your breathing. Drop the ribs, drop the shoulders, finding strength and ease. Come all the way back up. Take this right arm into your low back. Bring the left hand across to the right knee and twist gently to the right. Keeping the weight as even as you can on both glutes. Keeping your chin parallel to the floor. Bring yourself back to the center. Take your left hand to your left ankle. Put the foot on the floor. Stretch the leg out. Slide the hand down the leg. Put your right hand on your hip and stay here. Some of you might be able to drop the elbow to the inner leg, pressing lightly. And some of you may then be able to extend that right arm coming forward. Try not to let the head hang. Keep the neck in line with the rest of the spine. Keep the weight as even as you can on the glutes. Bring yourself to wiggle that glute back a bit. Press that left toe mound forward, left hip back. And follow the rhythm of your breath. And bring yourself all the way back up. Take that left leg, bring it in, and rock it out. Pause and go forward to what is forward for you. Could even be legs straight if that's what you need. Make the adjustments that you need to make. Remember, this is all about you. You bring yourself back up. Right foot goes to the floor. Right, so remember, you might need the prop under the left glute now. Good. Follow the rhythm of the breath. If you don't have knee problems, you might be aiming straight ahead. But try to tuck them around the bottom as much as you can. That's good. Bring the arms up. Mid, upper arm, extend. Good. Breathing, drop the shoulders. Doesn't really matter which arm you do first. Do both. Bring it back. Lift, drop. Try not to drop the chin. Try to soften the ribs. Connect right at the core of the body. Good. And up, lower. Other arm. Bring it over. Extend. Shoulders drop. Try not to lift that right glute. Press it back and down. Good. Bring yourself back to a straight spine. Bring the arm up. Bend the elbow. Try to keep the chin parallel. Try to smile. And bring the other arm up. Hold the elbow if you can. Give yourself that gentle breathing. Good. Stretch up. Hold both. Extend that left arm up. Bring the right hand to the right ankle. Bending to the right. Keep your breath. Shoulders drop. Keep that ear just as close to the arm as you can. Hand can go to hip if that's better. Coming all the way up. Bring that hand, that left hand in the low back. Right hand comes over to the left. Twisting left. Feel the breath moving into the spine behind you. Bringing yourself back to center. Placing that right foot on the floor. Extending the right leg out. Make the adjustments that you need. You might need a prop under that left knee. Slide the arm, keep the hand on the hip, or bring the arm up and over. You can drop the elbow down to the floor. The torso rotates slightly around the spine. Breathing deep into what is your depth today. Try to let go of any expectations of what you think it should be, and just go inside and explore what it is. Bring yourself up, twist over the leg, and go into the forward fold, not being afraid to wiggle it out again. Try to use the foot just as much as you use the right foot. And remember, however you clasp the foot has a relationship to your shoulders. You bring yourself up, slide that foot in and rock it out. And then take yourself forward once more, keeping your breath. Bring yourself back up, bring the knees together, stretch the legs, bounce them, adjust the glutes. If you need your props here, use them, and come into your forward fold. Keep the natural curve of your neck as always. Follow the rhythm of your breath and be afraid of a bit of movement. Bring yourself all the way up, roll your shoulders back a few times forward. Then cross the ankles. If it's possible to come onto your hands and knees from there, do that. Otherwise, just get there the way that it's best for you. And just explore some movement, just rocking from side to side on your hands. You can always come down to your elbows. You can put blankets under your knees. Explore what feels best for you. Come to the sides of the hands, just walking gently on the sides of the hands. Notice how many of your 10 toes are rooted into the ground. Place flat palms, turn the palms or the fingertips so they face in. Point all 10 fingertips forward. Turn them out. Notice your breath. Notice the weight on the body. Turn the fingertips to point towards the thighs. Pause for a breath or two. Turn the hands out. Turn them forward. Now try to turn the hands under. This is one that I find actually excruciating, but I try to do it to the best of my ability just because I know that it is a movement that I need to build some strength. Now, some of you may be able to get one and then the other. Keep your breath. You'll notice my arms are not straight and I need to come out of it fairly quickly. Do what feels best for you. Tuck your 10 toes under. See if you can drop your bottom back to your heels and do some of that toe torture that I know you all miss. If this hurts your knees, you can always do it up here like this. Really pulse in, take your hands, rotate your wrists, both directions. You open your hands as wide as you can, close them as tight as you can. Take a breath in, lift the arms all the way up. Try not to thrust through the ribs or stick the bottom out. Tight, tight, breathe in. One more time, find that tight body. Tight, 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 and let it go. Without dropping your head down, come back onto your hands and knees and just tap into the tops of your feet once more. Send your hips back towards your heels into child's pose, staying here to the elbows, stacking the fists. Rock your bottom gently across your heels. Remember, stack your head if you're feeling dizzy at all or if you've got any high or low blood pressure. The idea also is not to have the bottom up in the air, but to drop those glutes back towards the heels, just to release hips and low back. You can stay here or place your palms on the floor, walk your arms out, lift the bottom up enough to tuck the heels and the hips back, and find downward dog. So just see what's your better option today. Walk it out. If your back and hamstrings hurt, or maybe you just want to explore a different variable, could be an option to move the wrist can turn out. Don't be attached to any one position because that's what your body gets used to then. Now, if you are in downward dog, see if you can bend the knees, lift the heels, and just start walking the feet towards the hands with as many tiny steps as you can. If you're in child's pose, just get to a forward fold or a half fold, the way that's best for you. Hold your elbows or rest your elbows on your thighs. Adjust your foundation, which is now your feet because you're standing. Drop your head. Work with your breath. Rocking back and forth can challenge the balance. And then release your arms, hold the elbows the opposite way. This time you might want to swing a bit from side to side. Release the arms. Walk your hands up your legs or extend the arms and come up with the ears between the arms, lowering the arms down. Roll your shoulders back a few times. Roll them forward. And then step out wide on your mat so that the outside edges of your own feet are parallel. And you'll often hear this cued as pigeon-toed. If the outside edges of your feet are parallel, your toes will turn in slightly. Put your hands on your hips, draw your legs towards each other. Bring your left arm up. If your shoulder hurts, keep the hand on the hip. And exhale as you bend to the right. Into a gentle back bend. Lift your low back over that arm that's in your back, like you're going over a jump bar. Come all the way back up, lower the hand, bend the knees, rest the elbows on the thighs, adjust your feet if you need to. Stay here halfway, especially if you're dizzy. Otherwise, take pointer and middle fingers under the big toes, touch your thumbs, bring your knees into your armpits, drop the head, and begin to straighten the legs if that's possible. Then bend the knees, torso parallel to the floor, either palms to thighs or extend the arms and come up with the ears between the arms. Lower the arms, right arm comes up, left hand to hip, lift up, slide the arm and into that left side bend. So remember your options, hands to hips. Honestly, if something's painful, it's an idea that you need to change what you're doing. Bring yourself up, left arm into the low back, lift, gentle back bend. There's no need to drop your head back in a back bend if it's causing you neck strain. Your neck should be nice and smooth. Lift up out of that low back, use your legs. Come all the way back up, release halfway forward. Just check out that you're feeling okay. Same thing, pointer, middle finger, thumbs touch. Get those knees into the armpits. This is your happy baby. Drop the head, lift the hips if you can. Reposition the feet if you want to or need to. And again, bend the knees, lift the torso, palms to thighs or arms forward. Come all the way up. Lower the hands, heel toe your feet so the feet are parallel. Go back and forth from the toes to the heels. Put your hands on your hips and then relax in your chair position. So when you're in this chair position, your knees and feet can be right together or they can be a little farther apart. Make sure that you've got a natural curve of your spine, that you're not sticking your bottom out like I am, or that you're not thrusting your pelvis forward, just that Goldilocks spine. Your hands are on your hips here, just to notice, are they relatively even? Once you've established that, lift your left heel up off the floor, being careful not to shove that right hip out. And then take those left toes out to the side. You can see my hip moving. Try not to. Draw it in, take it out, draw it in. If you're on a floor that slides, if you put a piece of Kleenex or a face cloth under these toes, these left toes, it'll make it so much harder. And I know that that's what you guys like the best. I have no idea how many I've done, as you all know, if you come to my classes regularly. But let's finish with this last one. Pause, notice the hips, heel down, send the hips back, elbows to thighs, stay there. Or if you like, go into a full fold. Take a breath or two there, then bend the knees, palms to thighs, hands to hips, come back to your chair. Find the natural curve. Now this time, same side of the body, left. The left leg, right hip, above. Slide it back. Bring it in. Slide it back. If you did 40 last time, do 40 again. If you did about 7, do 7 again. Remember, something under the toes gives you some resistance and makes it just a little bit harder. If your right quad is speaking to you, that's perfect. If it's painful though, you know that you should change what you do. Let's try one more. Bring it back, heels down, same distance between knees and feet. Sit back, rest in your chair, extend the arms, pause there, elbows to thighs, stay there, or full forward fold. What do you need? Then bend the knees, palms to thighs, hands to hips. Same side, left heel lifts. This time we're going straight back to a high lunge. Front knee above front heel. Come back to chair. Straight back, smile. Bend the knee, pull it back. Step back. Try not to lean. Try to unclench those right toes. Legs straight, knee bend. Pull it back. Let's do 2 more. You can grab a coffee if you want, but you don't really need to. We're almost done. and back. Last time, smile, smile. Good, bring it back, toes, heels, elbows, stay here, or forward fold. This time, walk your hands up the legs or extend the arms forward. Bring yourself all the way up, release, and just walk it out a bit. So the good news is you only have 2 legs, so you're halfway done. So come back to that chair position, bend the knees, go through that same self-check out. Try not to shift the hips, bring it back in. Great for balance, stability, breathing, strength, so many good things. You need to keep your mind present. Don't forget, if you were using a Kleenex or something under the other foot, use it under this one. And I know that so many of you tell me that I always do fewer repetitions on the second side. Try your best to do the same number on each side. Pause, heel down, hips back, halfway, or all the way. And maybe you want to change the hand position, moving more into Padahastasana, where you lift the feet, slide the palms under, bend the elbows and fold. Just really always do what's best for you. Palms to thighs, coming back up to the chair. So we're going out to an angle this time. Again, watch the hip, back, out, back, out. Use your breathing, connect top and bottom half at the core. If there's pain, it's your body's way of saying, check in and make a change. Don't push through pain. What we do on our mat transfers out into our daily lives, and we learn to practice kindness to ourselves off our mat as well. Try one more. You know the number you did, so do that. Again, halfway or all the way. Do what's best for you. Coming back up. Last position, recheck, hips, position of the feet, and this time going all the way back. Uh-oh, make sure your props are out of the way. And back in and out. Pay attention to the hips, to the breath, the core of the body. Try about 2 more. Finish in your chair. Finish in the forward fold or half fold. Breathing. Walk the hands up the legs or extend the arms forward. Bring yourself all the way up and lower the arms down. Roll your shoulders back and forward. Find that Tadasana or mountain pose position, rising up from the very soles of the feet, chin parallel to the floor. And just imagine if I was to turn you upside down, you would be in a headstand. So is your body strong enough to support you in this imaginary headstand? Feel strong and stable like a mountain. If you need a challenge with your balance, you can close your eyes. But check back in with your breath. I am inhaling. I am exhaling. Then slowly let the eyes open. Take a moment to go back and forth from your toes to your heels. Bring yourself up to the very front of your mat. Establish that strong mountain pose again. And inhale, bring your arms all the way up. Remember, the option is to put the hands on the hips. Move into a back bend. Don't let the head pass the arms. Squeeze the shoulder blades, open the front body, and lift up out of your low back. Use the strength of your legs. Use your glutes without overusing them. Now fold the body either halfway or all the way forward and readjust your feet if you need to. Take your right leg back, bring the knee to the mat, put something under the knee if you need to. Bring your hands to your hips, stay here, go into a back bend there, or bring the arms up, press down into the front foot, draw the front hip back, moving into a back bend, breathing. Neck is long and smooth. As you exhale, fold the body forward, tuck the toes, lift the right knee, move back into plank. If tabletop, hands and knees is a better option, go there. Place the knees down, place the tops of the feet on the floor, lower down your chin, and then move your torso through the hands as you come into a small cobra or a you. Use your breathing here or go into downward dog. Walk out the downward dog. Now bring your right foot forward between your hands again. So if you need for the back bend or bring the arms up, press down into the foot, draw the right hip back, move into your back bend and breathe. Bring yourself back up, place the hands on the floor, tuck the left toes under, and step forward into a half or full fold, however you can get there. Either walk the hands up the legs or extend the arms forward, back up, lower the hands down through heart center and to your sides. Breathe in, bring the arms up. Gentle back bend, keeping your breath. Remember your options of hands to hips. Rise up out of that low back. The inhalation brings you up. Exhaling all the way forward if that's comfortable for you. Left leg goes back. Toes tuck, knees to the floor. Untuck, hands to hips or arms up. Into the back bend, breathing. Press into the front foot, draw that front hip back. Coming back up, releasing forward. Toes tuck, step back, plank or tabletop. It's up to you. Knees down, tops of feet to the floor, elbows bend, chin, chest. Move the torso forward. Cobra pose. Small cobra, if that's better for you. Good. Press yourself up. Tuck the toes. Let's all send our hips back to child pose. Stay there. Or find downward dog. Walk it out if you need to. Find your breath. Transitioning left foot back between the hands. However you get there is perfect for you. Right foot, top of foot to the floor if that feels right. Hands to hips. Or arms up, moving into the back bend. Send that hip back. Don't let the neck compress. All the way up. Hands to the floor. Toes tuck. Knee lifts. Step forward. Lift the hips. Long hands to the chest. Pause. Just noticing. And notice what you notice. Don't have any expectations for what you should notice. Just reconnect with you, your breath, where you are in this moment, being grateful that you're moving on your mat. Come down to a seated position however you like, or extend the arms forward, bring your knees to your chest. Readjust if you need something for under the head or neck. Give yourself the props that you need. Take any last movement you need, and then find your way into your comfortable position for Savasana today. Once you get there, take a long, deep breath in, tighten your whole body, just as tight as you can, everything. And a long, loud letting go exhalation as you release. Reconnect with your breath. I am inhaling. I am exhaling. I inhale peace. I exhale, attempting to release. The warmth of relaxation moves gently within my body, through my legs and my arms, the hips, the front body, the back body. My face softens, ears, eyes, nose. Parting the teeth, relax the jaw. My body is relaxed. My mind is clear. Still, I see the bright light of peace that shines brightly within me. And I try to let go. Slowly, awareness begins to return. Gentle movement finds its way back into the body, just however you need it to return. You may find rolling to one side is what you need, but maybe not. Take a breath or two, transitioning back to your day. Make your way back to a comfortable seated position. Sealing your hands once more at heart center. Taking a moment in gratitude, bowing your head to your own heart. Thank you for coming and sharing your practice with me today. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste.